Hi guys, we're talking about The Conjuring Last Rites or The Conjuring 4, a movie that I really didn't care that much about watching, of a franchise that I also don't care that much about anymore. I'm sure there's some people that are excited to watch the finale of The Conjuring saga, the case that ended it all, the case that made the Warren retired. Was it that scary? That even the Warrens shit their pants? No, it's complete bullshit. That's not exactly what happens. I'm sure I stopped being hyped about the Conjuring movies after watching Hereditary in 2018 because that film showed me the true horror. Like how horrifying horror movies could be. That when I rewatched the Conjuring movies that were already released, the first one and the second one, which I used to love, they became kind of like boring. It just felt like a series of jump scare scenes. So I really thought the horror elements didn't hold up anymore. What I think still holds up about this franchise is the care given to Ed and Lorraine Warren. These characters are so charming, and as an audience you really care about their drama involved in these horror movies, and that's something that is still here in Last Rites. But that's one of the biggest issues with the movie. There's long periods of time dedicated to their family story that the tension completely diffuses. But I really like their feel-good family story. I really care about Ed, Lorraine, their daughter, and their son-in-law. And there's a lot of funny moments and a lot of cute moments that I was like, oh, this is so... Like, really, I really care about this more than the horror elements of this movie. Because when it's about the case presented in Last Rites, is easily the worst, the most boring case out of the 4 films. I genuinely didn't care about the family of this case. And you can tell that the filmmakers also didn't care all that much about them. Because there's a huge contrast between the family of the Warrens and the family of the case. Because the family of the Warrens are so charming that when you jump back to the case, to the family that is going through these paranormal things going on in their house, you're like, can we go back to the Warrens even though that's not a horror movie almost? It's kind of strange. It's really strange, but I really, like, the filmmakers thought they did enough to make you care about these characters, but you really don't. This movie commits one of the worst scenes a horror movie can do, and that's being predictable. There's a lot of moments in the first act that you can tell that it's a setup for a jump scare that will be featured later on in the movie, and you think that, yeah, that will come back to these characters, and it does, and there's a jump scare. There's still good moments. There's a moment that someone is vomiting blood, and I thought that was kind of disturbing. And there's also a moment with a TV that I was tense, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I love these horror moments, like the girl vomiting blood, or a dog being slammed to the fucking wall. You think, holy shit, they're getting hurt. And the next thing, they're like, nothing happened. The dog is just walking like nothing. Like, he's completely fine, just walking. Like, I mean, he's walking even better than my fucking dog. And that dog is already dying because he's so old. That really hurts the horror and the tension of the movie. The build-up. It's not like The Exorcist, which this film clearly was inspired by The Exorcist, with a lot of filmmaking techniques and the music even. But in that film, the tension was getting higher and higher because the little girl was getting hurt and hurt and hurt again, to the point that she was unrecognizable at the end of the movie. That doesn't happen in Last Rites. Still, I was entertained enough. I'm sure a lot of Conjuring fans will be very happy with the way that the film concludes. So with that, I'm gonna give The Conjuring Last Rites a 6 out of 10. I think there's an easy way to tell if you're watching a great horror movie, and it's when you don't want to watch it. You don't want to watch it because you know it gets you scared, disturbed, or even uncomfortable. Ironically, that's when you know you're watching a great one. I don't have a single problem watching almost every single frame in Conjuring 4. So that tells you what I think about the movie. As always, thank you for watching and take care of your time.